What's up everyone, Silent J here, and I'm back again with another Talisong review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Talisong flipper model. This is made by Eldon Talley. I can put some links in the description for those of you who don't know who he is or where to find him. But this is the prototype for the flipper model of his Talisong, which is a channel construction titanium Talisong. So yeah, I'm going to pass around for this, and let's get into the review, I guess. Alright, so starting with things I like, as always. This blade, I don't know what it is about why the grind on this, even though it's like kind of a basic flat grind looking thing. Like, I don't know if you can even catch that on the camera, where you can kind of just see the dips into the grind. It's just really cool. It's kind of a nice looking Tonto design. It's actually, I like the blade a lot. Plus you have some nice edge rounding on the spine over here. It's really nice blade. I believe it's in the CPM 154 CM, so it's a pretty solid steel. Can't go wrong with that. One of my other things that I really like about it is, even though it is a channel Talisong, it actually still uses bushings. I'm a huge fan of bushings, and so can't complain there. I do believe it also uses phosphorus bronze washers. I'm not really sure if you can pick that up at all, but yeah, so I got that going on. As far as the handles go, there's actually a lot of things I like about this. First off, the knurling on here. I don't know how well you can pick up the knurling, but to me, when I first saw that it had that kind of pattern on there, my immediate thought was, oh god, it's going to be rough, it's going to be overly grippy, but it almost has like a weird smoothness to it, so it causes like a grippiness, but also it's really smooth in the hand, so you can still do your fanning and everything like that pretty easily, and then the other sides, the flats, are all totally smooth. So to me, that was just an awesome design choice in that part, and really well executed. I would not have thought knurling to be an even doable or okay pattern for Talisong handles, so I was really pleasantly surprised with that. Also with the handles, the actual thickness of them and the fact that they are pretty rounded off, always a huge fan of that. It just gives like a really good feel in the hand and everything, and I don't know, it's just something about that is always really useful and spectacular about that to me, personally. Otherwise, we can get into just, it is a smooth and comfortable bally. Flipping it, very smooth in the hands, all the flats and everything. It doesn't have any like sharper edges or anything. Just a really nicely constructed Talisong. Other than that, like, I like the balance. Balance for flipping, kind of aided here, and I don't know if I can really get it to pick up, but the way the channel is milled out, there's like a dip in there. I'm trying to pick that up, but it helps keep a little more weight in the handles, and we all know me, I love when Talisong is going to have more of a handle bias than a blade bias, because I just feel there's no reason to have a blade bias. It just loses control of the Talisong too quickly. I'm not a fan. Otherwise, yeah, no, that's pretty much what I like about it. It's really nice. But now we get into my criticisms, which honestly, this is one of the few times I can genuinely say my criticisms are definitely very minor. And that comes in my absolute biggest gripe with this knife is that it's latchless. I don't like latchless Talisongs. I feel if it's going to be latchless, this is the way to do it. You have just the solid ended handles, and that's great and fancy and all, love it, but for a flipping Talisong, I like having a latch. I feel like any flipping Talisong should at least have the option of having a latch. That's just me, though. There are some latch-based tricks, and if it's going to be a flipping Talisong, you should have all your bases covered in that sense. But otherwise, it doesn't really affect the flipping much, other than, some people love flipping latchless. I don't, personally. While I don't incorporate the latch much, you know, I use it to figure out where I am most of the time, because more than half the time I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Let's just be honest here. The length on this balisong, um, I would have liked it if it was just, ever so slightly longer. I'm talking maybe like less than a quarter of an inch extra on the handles, which would have been spectacular. I have kind of bigger hands, I guess you could say, so when I'm holding onto this thing, it doesn't give me a whole lot of real estate to work with. I pretty much have what's there, and not a whole lot of wiggle room for the knife sliding down. Now, it's something that, you can adjust to. It's not terrible. It's not like it's a short balisong. It's just I've gotten greedy to this point of I like longer handles. There's enough balisongs out there just that have like that extra almost quarter of an inch or so more, probably not even that much. And I've just grown super accustomed to that length, and I like sticking to it. The only other thing I could say would maybe be, and that comes down to a more personal preference, is there was a way to remove just a bit more weight from the front ends of the handles. Now, while I don't like the idea of maybe putting like cutouts in here, because the knurling I love, I think it's really original, and I think it's a great, not only aesthetic for the knife, but it just works and feels nice. I don't like the idea of putting cutouts into that. But if there was a way to just kind of like remove more material from the top part of the handle without really compromising the shape, because the shape is, it's annoying. I can't figure out a good way to do it myself, but that's why it's not my job. But yeah, no, just to add a little more bias into the back ends. I feel like this knife would have a lot more predictability and a little easier to control if only it had just a little more bias towards these back ends. I know I harp on that all the time. Hell, you know what? If you add that extra weight, that extra length in the back end, it might add a little extra weight. Who knows? All I know is that is my only dislikes about it. Otherwise, it's a really solid flipper. I was genuinely surprised. I'm sitting here and I'm like, cool. Guy's making a balisong. He wants to do a flipper model. A lot of guys have been doing that lately, and this is one of those times where they actually did a solid job, and I'm kind of excited about this. It's not super expensive. Well, it is. It's a custom knife, so it's going to be up there. I think it was quoted at about like 700, something like that. I'm not sure off the top of my head exactly. I think that's what it was. But regardless, so you are looking at a custom knife, but it is one that has flipping in mind in it. I like the fact that he's doing a pass around right now so that flippers can give their feedback to improve, as this is a prototype. But the prototype is nice. You're getting a channel construction titanium balisong, and I know a lot of guys have been like, yeah, we need a titanium channel balisong, but if you want one that flips, this one is definitely an option. It's going to be on the pricier side, but that's what it's gonna cost realistically. Anyway, enough of my rambling. Again, I really like it. This thing is sharp, but yeah. Awesome balisong. Awesome time reviewing it. Gonna add some flipping footage to the end of this, as I always do. I have a new camera though, so it won't look like I filmed it on a potato finally. And yeah, have a good one. Peace.
Over yonder, what do you see? The sun is rising, most definitely. A new day's coming. Ooh, people are changing. Ain't it beautiful? Ooh, crystal blue persuasion. Better get ready. Gonna see the light. Love is the answer. Ooh, and that's alright. So don't you give up now. Ooh, so easy to find. Just look to your soul. Look to your soul and open your mind. Crystal blue persuasion. It's a new vibration. Crystal blue persuasion. Crystal blue persuasion. Maybe tomorrow